Hi, Upchurch family. My name is Elizabeth Fletcher, and I'm here to welcome you and invite you to joining us on Sundays at 12 o'clock for Smart Money, Smart Kids at Upchurch. We have taken the Smart Money, Smart Kids curriculum created by Dave Ramsey and Rachel Cruz and created a customized experience for our young people at Upchurch. Every week, we hang out and we have an opening prayer. We introduce ourselves or have a question of the day. We do a daily affirmation that is provided by Upchurch. We share an opening question. We watch videos and have great discussions with the young people who attend. We play a game at the end of every session, and we make sure that we're giving suggestions on how to keep these principles in our lives moving forward. So what are those principles? Each week we discuss a different topic. And as you can see here, there are 6 bullets, but we break those down so that there are 12 sessions. We talk about work and what that means. What is responsibility, not only for your belongings, but also for your money? What are your financial responsibilities? How are you spending? What do you spend your money on? Giving our young people an opportunity to reflect on what they do with their opportunity to achieve financial peace. Are they being wise in their decision making around money? Are they saving and being patient? Are we giving and giving with a generosity of heart and spirit? Are we handling our debt? And what is debt? And are we dealing with it honestly? And then in our last 2 sessions, we'll talk about contentment and gratitude. So each week we focus on a different topic. We keep it fun and exciting and engaging. We have different videos to watch and just a really fun way to not only let our young people know about the best ways to manage their own money, but we also let them know how to do that so that they can achieve a financial peace and continue to attract wealth and health into their lives on a regular basis. We want prosperity for all. So I hope that you and your young people are able to join us. Check your emails for our weekly message, especially if you are registered with Upchurch as a parent. If not, please reach out and let us know, and we'll get you added to that list right away. So thank you so much. I hope to see you soon, and have a great rest of the day, Upchurch.
Good afternoon, Upchurch. I hope you're keeping your faith at these hard times you're in right now. And remember, God is with you and He always will be. Let's worship. I can see waters raging at my feet. I can feel the breath of those surrounding me. I can hear the sound of nations rising up. We will not be overtaken. We will not be overcome. I can walk down this dark and painful road. I can face every fear of the unknown. I can hear all God's children singing out. We will not be overtaken. We will not be overcome. Same power that rose Jesus from the grave, same power that commands the dead to wake, lives in us, lives in us. The same power that moves mountains when He speaks, the same power that can calm a raging sea, lives in us, lives in us. He lives in us, He lives in us. Oh, we have hope that His promises are true in His strength. There is nothing we can do. Yes, we know there are greater things in store. We will not be overtaken. We will not be overcome. The same power that rose Jesus from the grave, the same power that commands the dead to wake, lives in us, lives in us. Oh, same power that moves mountains when he speaks, the same power that can calm a raging sea, lives in us, lives in us. He lives in us, he lives in us. The same power that rose Jesus from the grave, oh, the same power that commands the dead to wake, lives in us, lives in us. Oh, oh, the same power that moves mountains when he speaks, the same power that can calm a raging sea, lives in us, lives in us. He lives in us, 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 he lives in us. He, my God, lives. Oh, in us.
Thank you so much, Kaylin. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Noriko. That was absolutely gorgeous. The same power. Well, today is about power. Yes, I have been studying those 5 attributes of God. I am Reverend Sherri James, and I am the senior minister of this expanding global community. I am so honored to be with you here today, and I promise you this is going to be a transformational experience. Thank you for tuning in from wherever you're finding us, whether you're here with us live at Sunday at 1 o'clock Pacific, or whether or not you're coming in months later, years later, decades later, finding this service. I want to let you know that the message that we have for you is timeless. You are in the right place at the right time for the right message. Couple of housekeeping things. The way that people find out about us is when you spread the word. And so I am asking that whether you're watching here on YouTube or you see this service replayed on Facebook or some other format, just take one moment and share this service. Tell someone about this good news that the same power that hung the stars and the moon, that keeps this earth plane in perfect peace, that same power lives in us. Family, let's take a moment to pray and open today's service. Father, Mother God, we ask for a transformation in our understanding of this power that lives in us. Wake us up to a new understanding of who we are as spiritual beings. Stretch our imaginations. Open our minds to fresh, new, and good God ideas. Help us to believe in the efficacy of this power that indwells us. Warm our hearts with the strength that moves us, that stands us up on our feet, moves us from place to place, to know that this power knows no age. It knows no gender. It knows no religion. It knows no person. And it knows no race,
no color, no creed. It only knows to flow if there is a mind that is open for it to move through it. And we ask to be the people that the mind of God flows through into expression. Help us to step into the fullness of who you have created us to be. May all of the shackles on our minds be removed and tossed back on the trash heap of the universe. I thank you, Father, for a very powerful service. I thank you, Mother, for nurturing us with everything that we need in order to transform in peace and joy. I know this is going to be an amazing, amazing, amazing service. And so I relax and I trust this prayer and I let it go and I watch it become a reality. In the name and through the power that is in the consciousness of I am. This prayer is so, and so it is. Our vision is to love every person up to their true identity and to their highest potential for the greater good of all. And we are on a mission to express God's divine love through teaching spiritual principles, worship services, fellowship activities, and community outreach. And our theme this year is break every chain. You know, there's a joke that says, I prayed for patience and God gave me a line at the bank. You don't know that you can break a chain until you have broken the most serious chain there is, the chain of being immobilized, of having your whole world turned upside down and still deciding to move forward. And up, church, I want to tell you that you have fulfilled our theme this year, because even in the midst of a pandemic, we are still going. You are still supporting this community, and I say thank you. So I need like a round of applause or something, because we have broken every chain. Now we're in the midst of a series. We have been talking about the 5 attributes of God. We describe those attributes as life, love, wisdom, power, and substance. And today you're going to hear from my good buddy, the hardcore metaphysician, the Reverend Gaylon McDowell, who will be talking to us about the attribute of power. And his sermon is entitled, I Have the Power. Now, in a moment, I'm going to pass the baton to our board member, Jack Roberts, who created a wonderful video for us about the organization that we're supporting, the Downtown Women's Center. And shout out to all of you who've already made your gifts on behalf of DWC. You're also going to hear from Jack L. Bomar, who is the pastor at Hillside International Church in Atlanta, Georgia, which was founded by Bishop Dr. Barbara King. And also he is the pastor at United Church, which is with the Reverend Ike family of ministries. And you're going to get to hear from the Christ Universal Temple singers. So this is going to be an amazing service. I just encourage you to get a notepad, tell a friend about this if you haven't already, and just enjoy yourself and get some of this good information. I do want to remember that we have a speaker meet and greet after the service. So please, please, please join me. The information will be on the screen below. It'll be in the show notes, everywhere that we pass out information. We have put the details for this speaker meet and greet. Can't wait to see you.
Hi, Up Church family. Here again to tell you about Giving Tuesday, which is coming up on Tuesday, December 1st. And we're supporting a wonderful organization, the Downtown Women's Center. Here they are to tell you a little bit more.
Initially, when I was unhoused, I started seeking different resources and organizations that would be able to help me. The main one that I was referred to was the Downtown Women's Center. I reached out to them, told them about my situation. They subsequently set me up with everything from resources for jobs, professional outfits, counseling in terms of my resume, my cover letter. They also gave me confidence.
Downtown Women's Center helps women find employment, And we do that through a number of ways. We help train them to prepare for the work environment. We help with the creation of resumes, with practicing interviews. We build partnerships with employers so that we can have easy pathways to get people employed. We also employ women who come through our services, predominantly through our social enterprise called Made by Downtown Women's Center.
Made by DWC is a social enterprise that comprises of 3 businesses: our cafe, our resale boutique, and our home and gift collection. All 3 were really teaching women about business in general, how to interact with the supervisor, how to work with a team, how to problem solve. So although they're specific in the work, we are really looking to empower women to learn skills needed for any job. This is the Made by DWC Cafe. This is the site of one of our job training programs here at the Downtown Women's Center. This is where we do fresh coffee, great teas, pastries, but as you can see, we did have to shut down our operations due to the pandemic. And now I'm gonna show you some of our home and gift collection with Made by DWC. These are all of our products that we make with the women in our job training program in our production space. We do beautiful hand-poured soy wax candles, body soaps, and bath salts. It really is about this partnership between the on-the-job training program and the additional support services given to them by our workforce development department so that they can move on and find employment out in the community and be successful in those roles.
This is where a lot of the work gets done. We get to check our email here. This is a place where we can get help. There's usually a lady that sits here at the desk who will help guide us and tell us, okay, you need to get on this website, you need to get on that website. If this wasn't here, I wouldn't have been able to print out my resume. If this wasn't here, I wouldn't be able to print out my business plan. This is a blessing. This is where some of the magic really happens.
You know, at Downtown Women's Center, the secret sauce to our employment programs is that we're helping women rebuild their confidence. And that's how we help women take that brave step back into employment.
I'm especially pleased that we have chosen this organization to support. As someone who spent 2 years on the streets as a homeless person, I can tell you firsthand the devastating effects that it can have on an individual. It can leave you scarred and broken. It can crush your soul and leave you with baggage that you carry around for years to come. Just to be able to have a support system, to be able to have resources, sometimes just to be able to have a safe place to lay your head at night can make all the difference in the world. And so we are excited to be supporting the Downtown Women's Center, and you can too. Now, you don't have to wait until Giving Tuesday. You can start sending in your gifts today. Now, you can give in all the ways you normally would give, whether it be text to give or Cash App. The mail still works, so you can send your gift in the mail, or just call us at the church office if you're not quite sure how to give. But we are excited to be supporting the Downtown Women's Center, and thank you for being involved in Giving Tuesday, and we're grateful for your support. Peace and blessings.
God bless and greetings, Reverend Sherri, Reverend Sheree, and the Upchurch family. Congratulations on your 9th year of celebrating your worshiping in colors. My name is Jack Bomar. I serve as the executive bishop at your sister church, Hillside International Truth Center in Atlanta, Georgia, and with your other sister church, the United Church family in Beaufort, South Carolina. And I just want to say, what a job well done. We're so excited to hear of the great work that you're doing there and the great work that you're doing with the Downtown Women's Shelter there in Los Angeles. You know, this is a time, if there's ever a time that we need to come together and be a collective spiritual community, the time is now. So thank you. Thank you for what you're doing to help raise consciousness and to create a better world, a better way of life for so many, especially the women. And just know that we stand in support of you. We send you our love. We send you our blessings. and we will continue to hold you in the highest regard and in consciousness. Thank you and congratulations once again. God bless.
Wings where my soul finds peace, even through the storms, I can trust Him. He releases me. Through His love, can't sever. I find my strength in Him. Through His love, can't sever. Under His wings. Oh, under His wings, where my soul finds peace. And even through the storm, I can trust Him. He reaches me. Through His love, can't sever. I find my strength in Him. Through His love can't sever. I shall not fear, I'm in the shadow of His wings, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. I will sing, He is my fortress, my Redeemer. I will worship Christ the King, and He shall hide me under His wings.
Thank you for that beautiful music, worship team. And once again, welcome our Upchurch family. And I also want to welcome our new friends. We're so glad to have you here worshiping with us. Upchurch is a growing, dynamic spiritual community. And you know what? Our doors are always open to those who want to live a healthier, more vibrant, more prosperous life. I want to find out who's worshiping with us today. So what I want to invite you to do is go ahead and type your spiritual name in the chat. And if you're wondering, well, what is my spiritual name? Well, just put your favorite I am statement in the chat. For example, it might be I am love, or I am prosperity. Go ahead and put your spiritual name in the chat and let's find out who's worshiping with us. And if you're not chatting with us today, that's okay. Just speak your spiritual name out loud. You know, if you're interested in making Upchurch your spiritual home, it's easy to do. All you have to do is reach out to us at upchurch@upchurch.org, and we will send you information on the next steps. So let's see who's worshiping with us today. Oh, I see you, love. I see the Christ in you. I also see prosperity out there. I see the Christ in you. And oh, goodness, I see the Christ in you. Keep typing your spiritual name in the chat so that we can continue to see who's worshiping with us today. If you have any questions or you just want to reach out to us and say hello, you can use our virtual comment card, which you'll find in the show notes, which appear below the video here on YouTube. And now it's time for our daily inspiration.
Good afternoon, Upchurch, and happy Sunday. Today is November 22nd, 2020, and I will be reading the daily inspiration titled Emerging Potentialities. We are life unfolding. We are love unending. We are wisdom revealing itself every day in every way. We are power optimizing good. We are substance being molded into radiant forms of beauty. We are always the attributes of God in potential awaiting our commissioning of them into visibility. In her book, Lessons in Truth, Harriet Emily Caddy reminds readers there is only one source of being. This source is the living fountain of all good, be it life, love, wisdom, power, the giver of all good gifts. This source, and you are connected every moment of your existence. You have power to draw on this source for all the good that you are, or ever will be capable of desiring. Therefore, whenever we are feeling less than our best in any area, let us not hesitate to call on the divine attributes into being. We can affirm with power, I let the life, love, substance, power, and wisdom of God be manifested in and through me as me in all that I do. Say, think, and believe today, I am that I am. Exodus chapter 3, verse 14.
And now it's time for our November affirmation of power. And feel free to read it out loud right along with me. If there is anyone from my past or present that I need to forgive, I do so now. I bless them. I love them. I forgive them. And I release them into your care. If there is anyone from my past or present who needs to forgive me, including myself, they do so now. And we are all free to love and experience greater good in our lives. And that's from Mae McCarthy. And now it's time for our testimonial.
Good afternoon, Upchurch family. So I was asked to share my testimony, and there are so many testimonies that come from the teachings here at this church that it's too many to list in this very short video. But I want to immediately give thanks to the principles I've learned at this church and how I've applied them during this pandemic to keep me at peace and to help me to really thrive. My hours have been cut by half. I have to work from home, but I'm grateful to have a job. God has richly blessed me to go to Vegas on a short jaunt to a beautiful wedding, just absolutely exquisite at a beautiful resort that was COVID safe. I had an extraordinary time there. God has enabled me to just bond with Genesis. We laugh so much. It is so rich to spend so much time with her as she is a junior in high school, and we won't get this kind of time back together. Just so grateful to be off the hamster wheel to really immerse myself in her essence. She is just so wonderful, and I'm just laughing all the time at her antics. I've been blessed to get into that kitchen and cook some amazing, scrumptious meals during this COVID layoff. My most recent dish is birria tacos, You must look that up on YouTube. It is just lip-smackingly good. God has enabled me to have an incredible, extraordinary health report from the doctors. My doctors told me that my blood and my organs are functioning like that of someone 20 years younger than my chronological age. And I do accredit this COVID layoff as to why I'm in such impeccable health. I thank God for enabling me to go to the beach and jog daily and just be at one with the ocean and the sun. It's just been rich, rich, rich. And I have an amazing show that God has offset my income with. It's monetizing. In my fight for reparations, I do a show in the social media spaces, and I'm grateful for all the donors of the show. I'm grateful that God chose me to be a voice in this reparations movement for American descendants of chattel slavery, and just the peace that God brings me in what I consider to be the second civil rights movement, and how at the end of every show, I'm able to pray the prayer of protection over my audience, and I am able to remind them that they are the face of God, the voice of God, and the body temple of the Spirit of the living God. That is just rich to be able to impart that to them, to give them the fortitude to keep going. Yes, I thank God so very much for allowing me to use the time off from work to really take every trial and turn them into testimonies. Thank you for allowing me to share. Ciao for now.
I'm walking in power. I'm working miracles. I live a life of favor. I know who I am. I'm walking in power. Working
thank you to our worship team. Thank you for the gift of your talent. You guys always, always, always bring it. Thank you so much. I am so excited to bring you this next speaker. I have known Reverend Gaylon McDowell for as long as I could remember being in New Thought. And I don't remember when we became friends, but let me tell you, there are some people where, they say game recognizes game. That's how I feel about this brother. I am so proud of him, and I'm so excited for you to get to know him. Now, he has been dubbed the hardcore metaphysician. And so I consider him a fellow a hardcore person. He goes hard in the paint for metaphysics. If you want to get that true, how does this thing really work? What does principle really say? Gaylon McDowell. And one thing you may not know, Gaylon McDowell is my prayer partner, along with Reverend Charles. We've been meeting in prayer for a few years now. I can't even remember when it started, but they have been two of my closest friends in ministry. And I'm just so grateful for him to be a part of this month. And I cannot wait for you guys to experience it. All right. Let me give you the actual bio. The Reverend Gaylon McDowell is the executive minister and senior assistant minister at Christ Universal Temple in Chicago, Illinois. He is the host of the podcast Truth Transforms on the Unity Online Radio, and this is a program that provides new thought lessons and insightful interviews to help people live better lives. Reverend McDowell is an ordained minister, licensed teacher, and second vice president on the board of directors for the Universal Foundation for Better Living. He has been on the Johnnie Coleman Institute's teaching faculty since 1997, where he now serves as the director. He is also a success and life coach. Reverend McDowell is known as the hardcore metaphysician because of his passionate and powerful presentation of New Thought. He is a regular contributor to the Science of Mind magazine, along with helping with projects for Unity, the Universal Foundation for Better Living, and the International New Thought Alliance. I am so excited to bring to some of you and introduce others of you to my brother, my friend, my prayer partner, my mastermind buddy, the Reverend Gaylon McDowell.
Hi, I'm Reverend Gaylon McDowell from Christ Universal Temple. I serve as the executive minister and the senior assistant minister of Christ Universal Temple under the leadership of the Reverend Dr. Derek B. Wells. On behalf of Christ Universal Temple, we want to greet our Up Church family with a hey and a great celebration for all that you do to make this world a better place. We want to just thank you for allowing us to be a part of your worshiping in color. I also want to thank the Reverend Sherri James for the invitation to present. I want to thank and bless her whole team, the Reverend Sheree Thompson and her teachers, her board, staff, everyone who works tirelessly to make sure that you all do all that you can to help people live a better life. Now, I've been tasked today with teaching one of the 5 main attributes as taught by the Universal Foundation for Better Living. And my sermon today is, I have the power. I have the power. Now, when I was growing up, I used to rush to get home from school so I could watch a particular cartoon that most boys in that era actually watched. Anybody that's around my age, boys and some girls, would rush home to watch He-Man. Now, He-Man wasn't called He-Man, it was called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. And one of the things that I loved about He-Man was this. He was a regular, ordinary person. He was Prince Adam. And Adam was given the power to become He-Man. And he would lift his sword that he had, and he would say, by the power of Grayskull. And then he would say, I have the power. And it would transform him into the strongest man in the universe. Now, why am I referencing He-Man in a sermon? It's because we also have to realize that we have the power. And the power doesn't come from Castle Grayskull. It comes from the indwelling Christ. The power doesn't come from something outside of us, like what happened with Prince Adam when he was given the power of Grayskull to be able to defend his planet. What we have is the ability to tap into the presence and power of God that already resides within us. We have to recognize yet again that there's outside versus inside. Many times we're looking for someone outside of us to give us power when God has already placed power within us. So are you looking for power outside of yourself? Or do you realize that the power of God already resides within you? So when He-Man would take that sword and he would stretch it out and it said, I have the power, he was affirming the truth of his being. And when you say, I have the power, or even better, I am power, you are affirming the truth of your being. Now here's what's funny about power. According to the cartoon, not only did he have the power to transform himself from Adam to He-Man, he was able to transform his cowardly pet lion, or tiger, excuse me, it was a tiger. I'm trying to remember if it was a tiger or a lion. I think it was a tiger, I can't remember his name, Cringer, to Battle Cat. So when you express your power, it allows people to tap into what's within them also. So it's important that you live from your power. Now let's drill down on this power. What is power? Before I get into the UFBL definitions of it, I just went to the dictionary because I just wanted to see how power was defined just in the dictionary. And in the dictionary that I looked up, it says that power is the ability to do something or act in a particular way, especially as a faculty or quality. I'm going to read it again. Power, the ability to do something or act in a particular way, especially as a faculty or quality. So the moment you start talking about power as an ability, now it shifts the thought processes. Okay, a power to do something, and this is very consistent with what I'm gonna deal with when I get to the UFBL definitions, in a particular way. So when I know how to handle a thing in a particular way, I am expressing power. When I drive my SUV, because I have the skill of a driver, I am expressing power in a particular way. The ability to drive and navigate an automobile. And it functions as a faculty or quality. All of us have different qualities. All of us can tap into different faculties. That is power. You know, I know people who make money just because they grew up playing video games, and now they get paid to play video games for a living as adults. That's what they do. They put parties together. They put functions together. They design. They do different things. Because they found out they had a quality, they had a faculty, they had the ability to be able to turn fun in the form of video games into prosperity and abundance. And I'm saying to you, there's something you already can do that's powerful, that can make a way for your own breakthroughs, transformations, and prosperity. But you got to use it. As the founder of the Universal Foundation for Better Living would always say, it works if you work it. So you have to be mindful of that. Another definition that was in the dictionary for power was the capacity or ability to direct or influence the behavior of others or the course of events. Yet again, I'm gonna read it again. The capacity or ability to direct or influence the behavior of others or the course of events. So when you are expressing power, you also are expressing influence. This is why John Maxwell defines leadership as influence, because influence is a form of power. And we don't look at it from that standpoint, but it really is. If what you say or don't say, do or don't do, shows up as what other people will do or don't do, or say or don't say, or how they dress, or how they think, that is influence. And that is a form of power. Now, we're talking about it at the human level. I haven't gotten to the metaphysics of this yet, but I really wanted us to drill down, because sometimes we don't realize how powerful we are and the type of influence we have when it comes to what we think, say, and do. People are watching. Your example is powerful. What you say is powerful because they have influence. I can never forget years ago, and I was watching something on, it was either TV or the internet. I can't remember now because, it all comes together now. But I believe it was TV. I'm almost certain it was TV. 99% sure. And there was a man being interviewed. And part of the interview was that this man had told his son, if you see me do it, you can do it. And I remember saying to myself, wow, what type of pressure did he put on himself? But at the same time, what the man was seeking to do was to say this. As a man, he wanted to model to his son what it meant to be a man from his perspective. How do you move? How do you navigate? How do you deal with people? How do you handle breakdowns, what the world calls problems? How do you interact? How he interacted with his wife in front of his son, how he dealt with money, how he took care of his health, what he said to his friends and family, the habits that he had. All of those things were up for grabs, and his son could do anything and behave any way that he saw his father do or behave in a certain kind of way. Now, why is that important? His father understood influence. Now, here's the thing. Most of us are not having conversations like what that man had with his son. But the same process is happening. I call it the Godzilla effect. In the old Japanese Godzilla movies, Godzilla would walk through the city and down a road, and the buildings would be fine except his tail would wag. And as his tail would wag, it would destroy buildings. And sometimes we're not conscious of what we're doing and what we're saying and the impact of what we say and do on others. In other words, if we're not mindful, we can be unintentionally destructive with our influence. We want to make sure that we're modeling the behavior that is consistent with the truth of our being. In other words, if God lives within each one of us as the I am, as the Christ, as our spiritual nature, as the Word, whatever term you want to use, image and likeness, divine self-expression of God, that means that our character, that means our actions, that means our words must be consistent with the truth of who we are, or we are possibly abusing the power that we have. Now let's get to the UFBL definition. This is taught in all the churches in the Universal Foundation for Better Living. One of the 5 main ideas, attributes, qualities of God. Power is defined as the idea in divine mind of authority and dominion. I'm going to read it again. The idea in divine mind of authority and dominion. All right. So, in God mind, divine mind, universal mind, it's a lot of terms for the same thing. It just gets you, it helps us get out of the anthropomorphic concept of God by using terms like divine mind. It is an idea of authority and dominion. Authority and dominion that you have based upon who you are in God and who God is in you. If it is the ability to do, what do you want to do? It's the ability to do it. It's the ability to accomplish. What do you want to accomplish? It's the ability to accomplish it. It's the ability to produce. What do you want to produce in life? It's the ability to produce it. It's the ability to master. What do you want to master in life? It's the ability to master. So you have the ability to do, accomplish, produce, and master already within you. And it expresses uniquely as you based upon how you channel the power. It functions in humanity as formative thought, reserve strength, and energy. It functions in the universe as moving force and vitality. So I want to go back to these abilities for a moment because I really want you to get this one basic concept. It was taught by our founder, the Reverend Dr. Johnny Coleman. I am the thinker that thinks the thought that makes the thing. I am the thinker that thinks the thought that makes the thing. That's power. I'm going to deal with that a little bit later. I am the thinker that thinks the thought that makes the thing. Which I guess I'll just transition to my next point right now because I'm realizing that I only have about 25 minutes to do this sermon. My next point would be that power is the ability to think, to choose and create life, to choose and create your own life. So when you start thinking about, I am the thinker that thinks the thought that makes the thing, that's saying that you are at cause. You are always at choice. That's power. You are always at cause. You are always at choice, even when it doesn't seem as if you are. In scripture, it says in the book of Joshua, choose you this day whom you will serve. As far as me and my house, we shall serve the Lord. In other words, it's always put in front of you. You are at cause. You are at choice. Choose. Choose. And when you choose, you're creating something very uniquely for you. I like to say it this way, and my definition isn't substance, but to me, all these attributes work together. God is no thing, so God can be anything, everything, and all things. That's why God is no thing. Instead of saying nothing, no thing. Formless, shapeless. God is substance, formless, shapeless. God is infinite potential, formless, shapeless. God is unlimited possibilities, formless, shapeless. So thinking forms and shapes the unlimited possibilities, the infinite potential of God into a definite thing. That's why I am the thinker who thinks the thought that makes the thing. I have the power to form and shape the infinite potential and the unlimited possibility of God into definite form. That's the power that you've been given. That's the power that resides within you. So when you are thinking, you're being creative. Because thought is mental vibrational impulse. It's mental energy that is formed and shaped by how you think and feel. All right, moving on. My next point is attention and intention direct power. Attention and intention direct power. Attention. You've heard the saying, I'm sure, many times. Where your attention goes, your power flows. Where your attention goes, your power flows. I really want that to land. What keeps your attention? Some people have a lot of drama and trauma in their lives because that's where their attention goes. It's like Gaper's traffic. You're driving by, not praying for somebody, slowing down just to see the details of a car accident, a collision. And you'll slow down to pay attention to something that doesn't concern you. And that's what happens in life. What is pulling your attention away from your purpose? What is pulling your attention away from your goals? What is pulling your attention away from your dreams? Where your attention goes, your power flows. Now, then there's intention. In other words, you are consciously directing your power towards something to produce a particular goal. How do you use your intention? Reverend Ike used to say, you must be definite with the infinite. And if you wanted to go to a skyscraper in your hometown or the nearest town that has skyscrapers, and you wanted to go to the top floor, to say it's the 99th floor, and you got into the elevator possibly would just stay there until you press a button. When you press the floor, the button, which represents the floor you want to go to, the elevator moves to take you to that floor. Well, just like that with intention and God, life can be stagnant until you choose. You have to be definite with the infinite. Where is it that you're seeking to go? And your intention is based upon your mental equivalent, which is the clarity of your thought and the conviction of your feeling coming together to create a mental pattern or equivalent of what you want in the outer. So, are you using your intention to create the life you desire? Or are you just allowing life to happen to you? Yet again, you must be definite with the infinite. You have to put your mind on something. Charles Fillmore, this is a paraphrase, but this is really close to the definition because I didn't write it down in my notes for the sermon. But he said, to man was given the highest power in the universe, the conscious power of thought. You have to use your intention. You have to direct your power somewhere. You must be definite with the infinite. Just like that elevator has the power to take you to the floor you desire, the presence and power of God, the universal laws of God, the substance of God, the love and grace of God have the power to take you to the floor you want to be on in life. But you have to choose. When you choose, you're activating the power. That's why we teach that belief is the activator of faith. Because belief is a form of choosing. because belief just means what you accept is true. All right. My next point is, how do you make it work? So if you have a Bible, I would like you to turn to the Gospel of Mark, chapter 11. I'm going to read Mark chapter 11, verses 20 through 24. It reads, "In the morning as they passed by, they saw the fig tree withered to its roots. Then Peter remembered and said to him, 'Rabbi, look, the fig tree that you have cursed has withered.' Jesus answered them, 'Have faith in God. Truly I tell you, if you say to this mountain, be taken up and thrown into the sea, and if you do not doubt in your heart, but believe that what you say will come to pass, it will be done for you. So I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours.'" Now, this scripture by itself could be one hour sermon easily. It could be an all-day seminar. But I just want to pull out a couple of quick things as I close. The fig tree was withered in the previous chapter or earlier in the chapter because it didn't have any figs on it when it was supposed to have figs. So Jesus used the power of the spoken word to basically say the fig tree, you won't have any figs anymore, and the fig tree withered. You have to speak life to what you want, but you also have to at times renounce, denounce, release, and let go. Use the power of release and renunciation to eliminate what doesn't work in your life. And you then have to speak the word, which is a form of power, speaking the word, to the things that you feel as though are obstacles in your life and see where you want to go and be. So when the obstacle shows up, you can't be tricked by the appearance. Oh, this looks like a mountain to me. What looks like a mountain to you looks like a molehill to somebody else. And you have to condition your mind to believe that you have the power to tell that obstacle, get out of the way, and go forward toward your deliverance in God. Then he says, and again, I'm skipping some stuff, don't doubt in your heart. The heart symbolizes the subconscious nature. In other words, you got to deal with those feelings that are deep within you right now, those deep-seated beliefs and emotions that sometimes will sidetrack what we're attempting to do in life. You got to deal with those things. It says, but believe what you say will come to pass. Many people pray, but they don't believe what they're praying. They're praying as a wish instead of praying in power. Don't wish, believe. Don't wish, know. Don't wish, be firm in your conviction, deep down in your gut. Believe what you say will come to pass, and then it will be done for you. So whatever you ask for in prayer, believe. Believe what? That it's already yours, that you have received it, that it is already yours. You don't pray to get, you pray to know. You don't pray to get, you pray to realize. And if you do it that way, it will be yours. So in closing, you have the power. You got to tap into it. You got to discover it, uncover it, and unleash it. Yes, in love and in wisdom, but you got to use it because God has placed it in you to bring forth the wonderful attributes and qualities of God into the world. So go forth and be the powerful spiritual being that you are. Thank you for the privilege of delivering this sermon to you. God bless you.
It's a blank slate, so try something new. And opportunities treasured by few. Life is beautiful as long as you move. One step at a time. Just keep moving. Motion creates emotion. Just take a step back. You will see. Motion creates emotion. A world of possibility. Oh, motion. Motion creates emotion. Say oh, 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 oh. Your feelings are locked away. Don't let them stay. They need an outlet to release away. Out and into the world. Freedom brightens your day. You can't be frozen. Just let it melt away. One step at a time. Just keep moving. Motion creates emotion. Just take a step back. You will see. You'll see. Motion creates emotion. Open a world of possibility. Motion creates emotion. Just take a step back. You will see. You gotta take that step, yeah. Motion creates emotion. Open a world of possibility. Y'all ready? Slide to the left, and turn around. Slide to the right, and turn around. Clap your hands 3 times. Wave your hands and do it again. Slide to the left, and turn around. Slide to the right, and turn around. Clap your hands 3 times. Wave your hands and sing it with me. Say, oh, 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 creates emotion. Step back, you will see. Take a step. Motion creates emotion. Open a world of possibility. The world is open to you. Motion creates emotion. Oh, 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 oh,
All right, family, now is the time to set the law of giving and receiving into action for yourself. I give in love. I give in love, love, love. All that I have and all I receive will be multiplied. I'm in the flow. I'm in the flow, flow, flow. I'm sending it out and it's coming back in. He supplies my every need. We've made it easy for you to support Understanding Principles. You can text the word UPCHURCH to 73256 to complete your gift. You can use Cash App. Our Cash App ID is $UpChurchLA. You can also go to our website, upchurch.org, choose the button Give Online. And finally, the mail still works. You can mail your gift to Understanding Principles, 600 West Queen Street, Inglewood, California, 90301. I give in love, love, love. Read along with me. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love and I trust God. All right, let's add a declaration with that. I am in the flow. I give generously and I receive lavishly. My Father, Mother, God supplies all my needs. I am divinely supplied. All right, family. Thank you so much for your support. Let's have some announcements and then I'll be back to close this out.
Hi, Upchurch family. My name is Elizabeth Fletcher, and I'm here to welcome you and invite you to joining us on Sundays at 12 o'clock for Smart Money, Smart Kids at Upchurch. We have taken the Smart Money, Smart Kids curriculum created by Dave Ramsey and Rachel Cruz and created a customized experience for our young people at Upchurch. Every week, we hang out and we have an opening prayer. We introduce ourselves or have a question of the day. We do a daily affirmation that is provided by Upchurch. We share an opening question. We watch videos and have great discussions with the young people who attend. We play a game at the end of every session, and we make sure that we're giving suggestions on how to keep these principles in our lives moving forward. So what are those principles? Each week we discuss a different topic. And as you can see here, there are 6 bullets, but we break those down so that there are 12 sessions. We talk about work and what that means. What is responsibility, not only for your belongings, but also for your money? What are your financial responsibilities? How are you spending? What do you spend your money on? Giving our young people an opportunity to reflect on what they do with their opportunity to achieve financial peace. Are they being wise in their decision making around money? Are they saving and being patient? Are we giving and giving with a generosity of heart and spirit? Are we handling our debt? And what is debt? And are we dealing with it honestly? And then in our last 2 sessions, we'll talk about contentment and gratitude. So each week we focus on a different topic. We keep it fun and exciting and engaging. We have different videos to watch and just a really fun way to not only let our young people know about the best ways to manage their own money, but we also let them know how to do that so that they can achieve a financial peace and continue to attract wealth and health into their lives on a regular basis. We want prosperity for all. So I hope that you and your young people are able to join us. Check your emails for our weekly message, especially if you are registered with Upchurch as a parent. If not, please reach out and let us know, and we'll get you added to that list right away. So thank you so much. I hope to see you soon, and have a great rest of the day, Upchurch.
Have you had a good time this Sunday? Has this not been the best? Do you really get that you got the power? You know that now? Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have to say thank you so much to Reverend Gaylon McDowell. Thank you so much for being a part of our Worshiping in Color month. It was the perfect sermon to ask you to talk about power. Spirit knew. Thank you so much for that gift. Thank you also to the Temple Singers. We appreciate your gift in song. Thank you so much. Thank you also to our worship team. Oh, you guys are amazing. We love you and we appreciate you. Thank you to Jack Roberts and Honor Seaton and Angela Jones. And thank you so much to Aaron Kimball and Taylor Walker. Thank you to our teachers, our guest services, our chaplains. Listen, your church is continuing to work and do the work even in the midst of this pandemic. And there are people who have not sat down, but they are continuing to put one foot in front of the other to make this ministry happen. And so I have to shout them out and to say thank you. I want to remind you to join us immediately afterwards for the Zoom fellowship where we get a chance to chat with Reverend Gaylon McDowell. And I want to let you know that next week, we put an announcement in there, but next week is our annual meeting. And this is where we deal with the business of the church. Now, the meeting normally happens in the second quarter of the year, but it was delayed due to the pandemic. And so this meeting will be via Zoom next week. So from the comfort of your home, you'll be able to tune in and hear about the business of the church. And so we want to encourage you to be a part of that and make sure that you register for that annual meeting. All right, family, let's take our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And so it is. Have an absolutely marvelous week. I'll see you in the Zoom speaker meet and greet. And if I don't see you there, I will see you next Sunday, same time, same place. God bless you.